Hi, welcome back to Dynamic Movement Therapy. I'm Suzy and this is Feel Good Friday. So today we're going to be doing a neck and shoulder sequence that's going to kind of open up everything and help create that slide and glide that we're looking for. So the first thing I want to do is address, we're going to be seated today for the entire time. So I like to talk about props a little bit. I want you to think about elevating your hips until your knees and your hips are at least level, or maybe your knees are lower, right? So for me, that means I'm gonna sit on this pillow today. I'm gonna slide it under my buns. I also use blankets. You can use a yoga block. So anything that you have, you can sit on a step or a pile of books, but we wanna get into a comfortable position where the knees can kind of fall open. We can tuck that pelvis under and really lean back, stacking the shoulders right on top of the hips. Okay, so we're gonna start with the arms out to the side today. You're gonna take one thumb up and turn one thumb down, creating fists with both of your hands. I want you to gaze at the thumb that's up. Take a big inhale. Exhale, switch your thumbs and switch your gaze so that we're always looking at the thumb that's facing up. When you're ready, exhale and turn the other way. Moving with your breath, your inhales take you through the center, exhales to the other side. Good. And as you continue to move, I want you to think, we're not rolling the shoulders here, right? So we're not moving the shoulder joint. What I want you to be doing is moving your arm inside the shoulder joint, right? So we're really rotating the bone in the socket, keeping the torso nice and stable. Let's do one more on each side. Inhale, exhale to the right. Inhale through the center and exhale to the left. Good, nice work. Let's reach both of the arms all the way up. Exhale, pull them down into a goalpost or a cactus. 2 more times. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, pull those arms down. Last one, reach up nice and high, really stretch. And exhale, pull those elbows down. Nice, releasing the arms. We're gonna kind of roll those shoulders a couple times. Get them moving. Good, then we're gonna drop the ear. So left ear is gonna come towards your left shoulder, but I want you to think about getting tall and then creating an arc through your neck. So we're lifting before we start to tilt the head or laterally flex the spine. Good, inhaling through the center. Again, thinking length, lift, and then tilt. Good, inhale and exhale, keeping all of this really easy. We just want to kind of create some motion and some movement. We're not looking for anything crazy stretch or dramatic here. Let's do one more on each side, thinking lifting before we start to flex. Good, last inhale through the center and exhale to the right. Good, coming back into neutral. This time we're gonna switch it up. So our inhale is gonna take us to the left, and then exhale, chin comes to the chest, and again, we're lifting through the crown of the head. So we're getting long through the spine, lengthening the back of the neck. Inhale, up through the center. Exhale, rotate to the right, and then drop that chin of the chest. Nice, inhale up. Exhale, lift and curl the chin down. Good, through the center, rotating right. Lift and curl the chin. Good, one more on each side. And this time, as we rotate to the left, you can reach your right arm out to the right side. As you curl, you're gonna feel that increase in the stretch. Inhaling through the center, switching left arm reaches away. Lifting and curl the chin in on the right side. Nice, releasing again. Let's roll those shoulders up and back, creating movement through the chest. Good, and so for this last thing, we're gonna create some movement in the tissues and the superficial fascia in our neck area and our chest. And I wanna kind of just talk about that a little bit before we get into it. Number one, we wanna keep the pressure really light. So if that was a scale of 1 to 10, I want this in the like 3 to 4 range, right? 4 and 5 is getting kind of intense, excuse me. 5 is getting kind of intense, right? So we really want to keep it nice and easy. If we get too much pressure, what we're actually going to do is compress the small vessels that we want to create some fluid movement in, right? So again, too much pressure is going to create compression in the vessels that we want to promote fluid movement through. Okay, so the other thing that I want to talk about is the slide and glide of the tissue itself, right? So I call this my hamburger grip. You're gonna hamburger grip one of your forearms, okay? This is the easy way to kind of talk about what we're gonna do. You're gonna hamburger grip your forearm and compress in here without removing your grip. I want you to slide your hand laterally on your arm. All right, so you can see that without moving my left arm or releasing my grip, I can still get a little movement in the tissues of my arm. All right, so the same principle applies all over the place. And what we're doing is we're creating slide and glide in the superficial fascia and like the tissues in the top layers of the skin. And that holds a lot of lymph fluid. There's a lot of things in there that can kind of get sticky and connected together. So we're gonna start in the neck here, and I want you to take a full palm, right? So we're gonna have a full palm and gently comb the front of the neck, making sure that we don't press too hard in the center, right? This is your trachea, that kind of firm, bumpy piece that's down the center. I want to keep that one nice and gentle. Again, all of the pressure today is really light. Just want you to keep some drag on your chest here. So we're really lightly pulling down. You can face your hands in different directions to get in the crevices and crannies. Turning the head. Good. Let's focus on this left side here. I want you to get your fingers way up behind your ear and kind of drag underneath your earlobe. Follow that all the way down to the clavicle, your collarbone. Again, all the way up under the ear and drag all that down. We're using that soft pressure with the fingertips here. Again, keeping it really light, maybe a 2 here. We could even get into the 1. Right, keeping everything really gentle. Let's move into the right ear. So all the way up behind the ear, dragging down behind the earlobe. Helping to move some of this fluid around. Gentle pressure, pulling that all the way down to the collarbone. Nice. Good, and then at the end, coming back into that full hand glide. Just kind of pulling the tissues down and away. Good, we're gonna move into the chest. So we can either interlace the fingers or you can use your fingertips, right? So I like to interlace my fingers, and then I'm gonna place my hands on my chest, and you can kind of see me pull the skin down. So I'm gonna use this blade side of my foot here, or hand here, to pull the skin down, make it nice and taut. And then gentle pressure, you're just gonna lift your chin up and away. Finding different angles, right? So reaching the ear up and away from the skin. Again, we want to think about getting length in the spine, right? So we're not trying to create crazy angles with the neck. We're trying to open up the tissue so that our spine can get longer. We can get a little more length through the top of the body. As you continue to move and play with this, just want to remind you that this is a very intuitive practice, right? You are the one that can feel what is happening and what feels good and what doesn't feel good. So I want you to really tap into you and decide like what feels good for you. Use the pressure that feels good for you. Maybe you like a 1, maybe you like it a little bit more firm and you're more at the end range at the 3s, but finding those spaces in your body that really feel good to you, and you want to open those up and just follow your guide, right? We always move with our breath, so I want you to think about that intuitive portion of the practice and just finding that flow.